lower charges for cops involved with Warrant. U.S. District Court Senior Judge Charles Simpson III had dropped key federal charges against the former Louisville Metro Police officers behind the Breonna Taylor warrant. 2020, former Detective Joshua Jaynes, former Sergeant Kyle Meany were charged for using false information to secure a warrant, led to the raid that killed Breonna Taylor, and their charges have just been reduced. So they're the two liars. They lied, used false information to secure a warrant. Had they not done that, perhaps she'd be with us. Had they not done a number of things. They're the two liars. Charges reduced. Original indictment stated the offense involved the use of a dangerous weapon and resulted in Taylor's death. This would have increased the potential penalty to life in prison. Simpson ruled that part of the indictment be stricken. That part of the indictment is out. If convicted of that count, Meany and Jaynes would be sentenced to no more than a year in prison. Jaynes is still charged with conspiring with another detective to cover up the warrant and to falsifying documents. Meany is still charged with making a false statement to the FBI. Judge's decision, Taylor's boyfriend's decision to fire at officers, is at the center of the decision to reduce the charges. Prosecutors are required to prove officers' entry was the actual cause of Taylor's death, as well as the proximate cause, meaning her death was the natural and probable consequence of what happened. Attorneys for Jaynes and Meany argued Walker's decision to fire at officers intervened in the natural course of events and should relieve them of criminal responsibility for Taylor's death. Courier Journal. That's where they're going to start the culpability. And there's still a question as to whether they announced themselves. Thought he was being robbed. He said he thought intruders were coming to hurt him, Breonna Taylor. So forget about the warrant that you lied on. This no-knock warrant, you lied on it. We'll start the culpability meter right when you decide, boyfriend, to defend yourself and your lady.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
Got it. Additionally, while prosecutors allege that the fatal shooting involved the use of a dangerous weapon and resulted in Taylor's death, the judge ruled officers were using their weapons to return fire against Walker, not to facilitate further or aid in conducting the search itself. Okay. This is what the justice system does too often, or an activist judge. I don't know if this is one, but I'm leaning in that direction. Let me view this in the most favorable terms for the police officers. Most favorable terms for them, but not the young woman who should still be here. Meany and Jaynes were among 4 current and former officers federally charged August 4th, 2022 in connection to the Breonna Taylor raid. One of those officers, Detective Kelly Goodlett, pleaded guilty to lying on the warrant. She hasn't been sentenced yet, but she's stepped up. There she is. I lied. If this case had not gotten national and international attention and people saying they're not going to let it go, thank you, Ben Crump, esteemed civil rights attorney, I don't know, any of them would have been hit with any of this. Proven liars, but still given the benefit of the doubt by this judge, their worldview, what they represent, they were feeling, and what they did and what spurred on their action should be accepted wholesale. But the boyfriend and the false warrant, that's not, no, he shouldn't have opened fire. Well, make it make sense for me, please.
I don't see how it does. I think even the most charitable reading would be that the prosecution wants to ensure that they can get some convictions. And so oftentimes they're like, look, man, it's going to be tough to pull this to get this charge on a conviction. Let's just go with the lesser one so that we can guarantee we actually convict this guy, or these guys, I should say. But to me, that just means y'all need to put better laws on the books. If something as clear as day as this, you guys can't take it to court and get these cops convicted, that just means there's just been a failure in terms of legislation, if not just incompetence in the DA's office. It's either one. Either you guys are putting some BS laws on the books, by way that we enforce laws against cops, or your DA's office is clearly too incompetent to go out and carry their job to effectively prosecute this case. Either way, the public is being massively failed here, and obviously we know the victim and their family is being massively failed here.
Yeah, so even when you legally possess a firearm, you folks in Louisville, Kentucky, don't forget that if someone bursts into your home and you believe you're in danger, you better not open fire. That's a license to kill. And it was the judge who made this decision, and Woes is right. The laws on the book are ridiculous. Prosecutors and law enforcement work hand in hand. They're joined. So we'll keep following it, but I just wonder how much more you want to take from Breonna Taylor's memory, I ask, kind of prospectively, globally, and her family.